So you want to get a residential rental property and you don't know if you should buy a single family home or a condo or a townhouse or a villa. Let's talk about the differences, the pros and cons of each. Hey, I am Mr. Maciek, and this channel is about investing in real estate and growing your net worth. So if you're interested in that topic, please subscribe below. I would really appreciate it. Now let's get right into it. What is the difference between buying a single family home or a condo? Now I am going to bundle townhouses and villas into the whole condo route because usually they are governed by the same type of association. So this video is going to go into three sections. First, we're going to talk about the condos, the pros and cons. Then we're going to go into the single family homes, pros and cons. And then at the very end, I'm going to talk about my opinion and what do I do in my real estate investing. Okay, condos, let's get into it. First, we're talking about all the pros of owning a condo. So first of all, condos are cheaper. When it comes to looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath or a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, condos will always be cheaper as a purchase price than a single family home. So if budget is a limitation, then consider condos. Another pro of condos is that you don't have to do anything. Most of them are maintenance free. You're not allowed to do anything on the exterior and you don't have to do anything. Everything is taken care of for you. And many times they have amenities. So for example, there might be a pool, maybe a jacuzzi, maybe a little dog walking area or a nature preserve, or even a gym or a shuffleboard court or something like that. So compared to a single family home, you're able to provide a lot more amenities for the same price. Next is that there is a condo board. So what they do is they basically manage everything. And yes, they do cost a little bit of money, but one of the benefits of it is that you're gonna have a secondary set of eyes looking at this tenant that you have selected. So if you are inexperienced in selecting tenants, they're going to do their own little background check because they have regulations and standards of who they accept. So basically, the tenant pays for the application and you get the benefit of knowing that the community accepted them. The last pro I'll talk about is about really beachfront property. In a single family home, to afford a beachfront property, you're going to pay a lot of money, but condos are much more affordable and you might actually be able to get into a property that has an excellent view that you don't even have to maintain on the exterior. And that's because you're part of a cooperative where a whole bunch of people own the building and you get the benefit of a view. Hey, if you're liking this video so far, please click the like button. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about the cons of condos. First and foremost, let's talk about the money. They have association dues. And depending on where they are and how many amenities they offer, they could range anywhere between $100 and $1,000 per month. That's in our area, Sarasota, Florida. Another con is that there are a lot of rules and regulations. Most condos have a whole book of rules, quite frankly, 100 to 200 pages. So you really should familiarize yourself before purchasing a unit. What are the rules? Where are they going to cause you trouble? What kind of plan do you have? You see, if you're going to be planning on renting for a short period of time, then they may not allow that. They may have a 1-year minimum or maybe a 6-month minimum. So there's lots of rules that you should really know and narrow down which condos would be good for your investment strategy based on the rules that they have. Now, another negative of a condo is about the exit strategy. So when you're ready to sell the condo and move on, they just take longer to sell, period. They're longer on the market because most people prefer to have a single family home. So there's also a lot more that you're usually competing with. The inventory levels on the market of condos is almost always higher than single family homes. So just expect it to sit longer on the market. The next condo is about less flexibility. So I touched on this just a little bit, that they have rules and regulations, but these rules and regulations will really limit how many people will actually be interested in your property. So for example, some condos do not allow any motorcycles or maybe no pickup trucks. Most of them don't allow any work trucks or work vans that have some sort of logo of a company. So the tenant would have to go and put this big giant magnet on their logo every time they go in and out of the association. Also, sometimes people have poor credit, but they have a great rental history and they would not get approved in almost all condos because credit checking is one of the things that gets checked by the association's approval process. And not that you really want to, but maybe there's a past felony on someone's record. Maybe 15 years ago they had a felony and now you may be okay with renting to that individual, but condos usually will not. And lastly is illegal immigrants. Perhaps it's an area where there's a lot of illegal immigrants, and condos will not allow illegal immigrants. You have to have a social security number, you have to show a valid photo ID, you just have to be legit in the country to even rent in a condo. So the list goes on with the cons. Another thing is that generally you will have a lower profitability, and that's mostly due to the condo fees. The condo fees are pretty high. Like I said, usually about $200, $300 in our area. They could range from $100 to $1,000 or so, but even at $200, that's $200 less that you have in your pocket. And some of the benefits, for example, maybe water might be included. Well, that's not a cost that a landlord bears in a single family residential home anyway. So you basically give that benefit over to the renter. And another one, pet restrictions. You're basically cutting out a huge portion of the population because there will be some sort of pet restriction. At the very least, they're gonna say no more than 3 dogs or something like that. But for the most part, they say maximum 1 dog and no more than 15 or 30 pounds. Sometimes they say only owners can have dogs, no tenants can have dogs. So really every one of the associations is a little bit different. Research, read about it, find out, and then make sure to advertise it properly when you do actually put it up for rent. And lastly is that almost every condo association does not allow short-term rentals. So if you're thinking about doing an Airbnb or VRBO, then forget about it, unless you are going to the beachfront tourist areas, at least in our area. Not only do the zoning restrictions limit what you can do, but also the city restrictions, the county restrictions, and worst of all, the condo association rules limit the restrictions. And they're actually the ones that are going to be first to catch you. For example, if your condo restriction says no more than twice per year and 6-month minimum, and you have someone coming in and out every month, you are going to have a neighbor turn you in, you're going to get fined, and they might even turn you into the city and county, and they might fine you. It just keeps snowballing and snowballing. So condos are not a good idea if you want to do any kind of short-term rentals. Well, that wraps up a lot of problems about condos. So now let's get into single-family homes, starting of course with the pros. All right, first things first, you make more money. Usually you make more money. That really depends on what kind of tenant you end up getting yourself. You see, because if you do a poor qualification process, you're going to get stuck with a tenant that's going to cost you a lot of money. With condos, you're not going to get that. They're going to do a whole bunch of checking that you might overlook. So of course, you're going to profit more usually. Also, there's a lot higher demand for single family homes. So you're going to rent it faster. And faster rent is important because that overall decreases your vacancy time frame. So if you have a 5% vacancy rate throughout a single family home, you're probably going to have a little bit higher one on a condo. So the demand is higher because people want a yard, people have a pet, they want their pet to run around or their kids to run around. Whatever the reason is for that individual family, you're going to rent it faster. Next one is about on the resale, the exit strategy. Once again, they sell faster, period. Houses sell faster than condos every single time. So not only that, but they also have better appreciation. When something goes up in value, single family homes usually go up a little bit faster than condos. Also, with a single family home, you might have a benefit. There might be an extra storage building for you, or maybe a detached garage or a big storage unit or something that may not be included in the rental rate. So you get to store some stuff of your own over there. On a condo, you'll pretty much never get this. You might have some little storage underneath some stairs or something, but nothing significant. And the last pro about single family homes is about homeowners association. So this could be a pro or a con. The benefit of homeowners associations is that you're going to get a really nice neighborhood almost every time. You have maintenance requirement. If your tenants do not maintain according to the rules of the homeowners association, then you're going to be notified first, and they won't fine you right away. They're going to let you know first. So you're going to know without even needing to drive by all the time that something is not being maintained and is being neglected. On the contrary, a homeowners association could also be a limitation. So if you have an HOA, they might actually have some rules that's going to prevent you from getting a particular type of tenant, just like in the condos that I just discussed. Okay, now let's talk about the cons of single family homes. First of all, you have a lot more maintenance. You have to take care of the lawn mowing, the pressure washing, the roof, everything. There's a lot of stuff that has to be maintained, and it's your responsibility. Even if in the lease it says it's the tenant's responsibility, at the end of the day, it's your home. And if it doesn't get taken care of, then you're the one that's gonna end up paying for that. So, con of a single family home is there's a little bit more work in maintaining everything on the exterior. Another con of a single family home, which I did touch on a little earlier, is that they are more expensive. Overall, they sell quicker, the demand is higher, the price is higher. So basically, if you're purchasing one, you're gonna have less selection than condos. But when selling one, you're really gonna be able to get a little bit more money than that condo. Okay, the last part is about my opinion now. How do I invest? What have I done in my past, and what are my recommendations? So I have had some single family homes, and I've had some condos. I also have small multifamily, duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. And here's the bottom line. If it's for investment purposes, then I recommend that you go with single family homes, duplexes or triplexes or quads. Now those all fall into residential tenancy. If it's 5 or more, that's commercial. That is a commercial loan, and a whole bunch of rules apply to that. It's harder to sell. That'll be a separate video. Both times that I've owned condos, I've had nothing but problems. Mostly because I was like the 22, 23-year-old kid who owned a condo in there, and I broke the rules, quite frankly. I had people in there that shouldn't have been in there. I put people in without approving them, and I was the problem. So therefore, people had a problem with me. And then I got written up and I had issues. Now, would I do it again? Yeah, I would buy condos if the price was right. I would basically want to purchase a condo if I'm getting it at a significant discount. You see, with single family homes, I can do some added value things. I can really increase the rent rate for my property because I might improve something, the curb appeal, maybe add a separate building, add a little storage unit or something. With a condo, I don't have much that I can do. All I can do is look at how much other landlords are charging in that neighborhood and basically charge the same or just slightly less. The summary of my recommendation is go for duplex, triplex, or quadplex because you're dealing with small apartments at that point in time. And what you're getting is slightly less per unit, but you're getting a whole bunch of units. So for the price, it ends up being the best return on investment. Just make sure not to go into the Class D neighborhoods. I do have a video about that, about the different classes of neighborhoods. So that's my recommendation. Go for single family home if you can't get a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Now, thanks for watching. Please click this video. It'll help you get started in investing in real estate.